Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here. This evening at Tokyo Game Show 2019, Square Enix had a stage event for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Of course, earlier this week we got a brand new trailer showing the Turks, President Shinra, Heidegger, and some other new soldier, a motorcycle chase, a bunch of stuff. And I didn't actually know this was going to be happening, but they did a pretty big demo on stage, which was an updated demo of what we saw at E3 and what I broke down at PAX. If you haven't seen that video already, I will link that at the bottom, or link that in the video description. Sorry, it's kind of late. I'll link that in the video description, and I'll also put a card at the end of this video linking it in case you want to see that. The first video that we're going to review is this one that you see paused on the screen. This is an updated version of the E3 and PAX demo. And then after they showed this, they showed the Squats Minigame from the Wall Market quest where you gotta get the dress and the tiara and all that. It's a bit of a rhythm game, and then after that, and that's gonna be the chunk of this video, they showed the apps fight underneath Don Corneo's mansion in the sewers, and we got our first glimpse at Tifa and Aerith's combat gameplay. So we actually saw the presenter control them, use their abilities, as well as summon Ifrit with Cloud. So we're going to break all this down. We're going to start with the updated demo. I do have my notes here. So in addition to all of this, Square Enix, or the Final Fantasy VII Twitter, put out a translation, and I will show the tweets on the video, as well as link the full Twitter thread in the video description in case you want to see it for yourself. So I'm going to be using that as notes, as well as my own personal notes. So we'll start playing this. We're going to skip around this video a lot because we've sort of already seen a lot of this, but there are some things I wanted to point out. So this part of the demo, this has been shown in trailers before, but we've never actually seen it really in action. Cloud and Barret are sneaking into the reactor, and they're fighting the Street Sweeper enemy. I think it's a Street Sweeper. And then what's interesting is that Jessie is around. Like, after this battle ends, Jessie will pop back up and she'll hack that terminal that you see, the blue terminal you see on the screen now. She'll hack that, and then she'll like open up the door to the reactor, and the door that she's going to open leads to where the demo I played started. So this is just before that. Seems like right after they get into the reactor area after the train station. So we've seen all of this, basically just explaining wait mode or tactical mode, all the different abilities that you can use. There's really nothing new here, so we can skip around. Okay, come on. Okay, great. So, like I said, after Cloud and Barret kill that enemy, Jessie comes around, she hacks this terminal and opens up this door. Now, as you can see up here, up top, there's sort of like a quest marker. And this is something I'm hoping you could turn off. I always find these very distracting, and not, like, they're helpful, but they're sort of like handhold. Like, it feels like it's holding your hand and just sort of like giving you the straight path of where to go. So I'm hoping you could turn this off. But this is where the E3 demo started. So you see the reactor core. Jessie tells you to, go plant the bomb. So yeah. Again, this is the quest marker here. What we can see there, actually, that just popped up, is this is a main story quest. I used my phone, I used the Google Translate app to try to translate some of this. This is a main story quest, and this is the quest marker up here. As you'll notice, they have removed all of the button prompts and the tutorials and everything from this section of the screen. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know if they showed this in the E3 demo, but you can slide down ladders really fast, which is nice. So this is what I mentioned in my breakdown. These are the MP restores that are, you can break open the boxes and there's MP restores inside of them. And then there is a treasure chest over here that he's going to open, and that contains a tuft of Phoenix down. So we're breaking open more. Okay, so this is interesting. So Cloud's going to fight the Mono Drives. We have a Ray over here that he's not going to be able to hit. He tries his best, but he just demonstrates that Cloud cannot hit him because, or hit that gun because it's sort of like up and unreachable. But he switches over to Barret, he targets the Ray, and now Barret can take care of it, which he does pretty quickly. Something interesting though is air combat. So this is automatic. This happened when I was playing the demo of PAX. This is all automatic. He's just mashing square. He's mashing the attack button to build up his ATB. And then if it's an enemy that like sort of flies, but it's not categorized as a flyer that a melee combat person like Cloud can't reach, if it's just like a flying enemy, he'll do like some cool like auto launch animations that aren't exactly like air combat. You're not really doing much, but it just looks really cool. So he is skipping an encounter over here. There's more mono drives and there's a grunt over here. At least there was in the demo I played. He's going to skip this encounter. So we slide down this ladder. Now this is where things get interesting. This foam here is new. If you watch any of the other demos, this is not here. So it looks like they've already, not tampered, but like tinkered with these graphics over here, which is really neat. Okay, so he's going to bring up the menu for the first time. And this got me pretty excited because I love menus, as I mentioned in the other breakdown video. Okay, so menu. All right, very cool. So let's let that pop up here for a sec. Okay, so we got the battle leader. This is interesting. We could probably change this. Barrett Wallace, Cloud Strife. Barrett, no sunglasses, very interesting. So we have battle settings, enemy report, magic item status, save and load, and system. We also have, I'm assuming this is guild, this 113. These look like coins. And then we have a timer. Yeah, I think that's what that is. What's interesting is that even though you have the menu brought up, this is still covered. Like, this is covering the command. Actually, I'm not really sure what triangle is. Let's see if that changes at all. Let me bring out my phone, and I'll do this live right now, actually. I didn't notice that triangle was down there. So triangle basically says, if my phone will do this, to see. Okay, I don't know what that says. But something very, very interesting here that I wanted to point out. When he hovers over system, you can see the context down here. It mentions DLC. So I don't know. Like I assumed that we were going to get DLC for this game. It doesn't exactly surprise me. But the rest of this use various functions as setting environment, receiving DLC. Yeah, so Google Translate is pretty rough, but obviously DLC only means one thing. So it's interesting. I'm sure it'll be like different outfits or something, or different summons. I know the pre-order bonuses have different summons, so I assume that's DLC. But yeah, let's continue here because we do go into the system menu. So we have options and title. I'm assuming title just like brings you out of the demo. But here, I've done some translation. The settings are, let's see, we have, this is gameplay settings. That's this. This is camera and controller. This is sound, and this is language. He's only going to go into gameplay settings, which is important because there's a lot in there. So this is battle difficulty, and there are 3 options in here, and he's going to activate classic mode, and we'll cover that. Next up is cursor memory menu and cursory memory battle. This is pretty funny. Like, this is a setting I never messed with in the original, but basically it makes it so like if you want it, so every time you like bring up a menu, it remembers where your cursor was, or you can just have it reset every time. I always thought that was so interesting. I never used that. I always had it as default, but it's interesting to see that that's back. This one right here, rough translation is navigation map. I'm not really sure what that is. I'm hoping it's this bar here, this quest marker thing. I'm really hoping that's what that is, but you know, we'll see. So up next is subtitle, which is interesting that that's not in the sound settings or the language settings. That's here, but maybe it's a different subtitle. Maybe it's not actually for anything like that, like anything voice wise. Maybe it's for something else. After that is again really rough translation talk log setting. I don't know what that's about. Font size, that's interesting. I wear glasses. I can't really see that well. I'll probably turn that up if I'm ever playing on my TV. And then Patrol Operation Guide Display. I don't know what that is. Again, that's a rough translation. I sort of like don't even have an idea of what that is. So that's the menu. And then, like I said, you have classic, easy, and normal. The presenter's going to turn on classic mode. And he explains that classic mode allows you to... actually, before we get into that real quick, this is the thing I wanted to... that I was talking about in my original breakdown. Cloud sort of freezes after he takes the bomb. So Barrett gives him the bomb, and then he places it. And now he has a bit of a flashback. He's starting to lose his mind, just like in the original. And he sees a single black feather, which is going to show up right here. Single black feather falls to the ground and disappears. And the audio there, again, I listened to it while I was watching this live. It's just sort of like sinister. It doesn't sound like a theme that I can recognize, but it does sound pretty sinister. So Cloud is going to set the bomb, and you're going to get an option. So this is new. This was not in the demo I played. You can set the timer for 20 or 30 minutes. I'm assuming the bonuses you receive are different depending on what you pick. So, all right, he's going to set it for 20. Maybe it's bonuses. I don't know what it could be anything. You know what I mean? So now the Guard Scorpion's going to show up, and we've seen the Guard Scorpion fight before. But what he's doing now is he's debuting Classic Mode. And what Classic Mode does is it allows you to not touch anything until your ATB gauge fills. And then you can issue commands. So the AI will automatically press the attack button. It'll automatically block for you. It'll take care of everything except for ATB commands. So if you want to play in the classic style of the game where you just sort of wait to issue commands, that's what Classic Mode is. I think that takes away a lot from the game. Like as far as like a reimagining, I'm a big fan of just like a fresh experience. But if you're a purist and you just want to play it as the original was, Classic Mode is for you. So you don't have to worry about mashing square and doing any of that. You could just issue commands as the ATB fills up. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. So the rest of this is basically the same. The AI actually takes care of all the cover and everything. He's going to have to get under cover in a sec here. Yeah, okay, great. So, like, he just stands behind. He gets in cover. It's automatically blocking. What's interesting is that he's only targeting one person. The Guard Scorpion's only targeting one person while he's doing that ray. And the other person can actually run out and attack, and it won't like follow you around or anything. So as you can see, he's not touching any buttons. Cloud is automatically guarding. He's just waiting for the ATB to fill up. Now he's going to issue some commands. And then, yeah, that's sort of it. We do see the Guard Scorpion die once again. And something interesting does happen here that didn't actually happen when I was playing. Takes a minute. So we're actually going to see like the start of the escape sequence. The demo ended when I was playing like right here. Like it exploded. Barrett said something like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about or something like that. And then it ends. But here we actually get to see the start of the escape sequence just before it ends. And something interesting. Okay, so it says member left, Barrett. I'm not really sure what that means. And we also see the timer start ticking down. And that's where this portion of the demo ended. It didn't go past this, but we do see up here, main story. It seems like an objective is updating. Again, like modern RPG mechanics. So that's it for this one. I don't want to spend too much time on it. We do know, we've seen this before. It's just been updated, and this is our first look at menus. Menus look pretty sick. Hoping we get some animation in menus like we did in Final Fantasy 13. That was one of the highlights of that for me. But moving on to the second portion of this. This is the Squats Minigame. They turn this into a rhythm game. And what's interesting, and you'll see this as it starts, the arrow moves around. You have to press the face buttons according to the rhythm. And then this slowly fades away. And then one of the presenters was playing this, and she actually did amazing. She did something like 31 squats or 41 squats. And it's interesting, like I'm not exactly sure like what she does fail eventually at the very end, but it's unclear like what she's actually failing at. Like I think she pressed the button too early or something. So it's interesting to see, like I'm interested to find out more about this rhythm mini game for squats and figure out like she's doing it at different speeds. So I don't think that it necessarily like matters like what speed you do it at, as long as you press the buttons in the right order or like after the animation completes something. I don't really know. But yeah, so the opponent, Zenwan, is not doing too well. Yeah, so 41, she fails right here. And you can see it seems like she maybe pressed a button too early or something. But I'm assuming that the rewards she gets are, tied to however many squats she did, just like in the original. Yeah, so Cloud wins. And then I think we see a pop-up over here of the rewards, I think. And okay, so here's something really, really interesting. and this is something that I really hope they bring to the North American and European versions. It's circle for OK. This is one of my favorite things about playing the Japanese versions of RPGs. Lost Odyssey had this, where you can actually make it, you can actually switch the bindings in-game. So circle is OK and X is cancel. I always prefer that because, I mean, you X out of a window on a computer, right? So it just made sense that X was cancel. Okay, cool. So yeah, she's real happy. She did real well. And now we're going to get into the third video of this whole thing. And this is the apps fight. And this is our first glimpse at combat with Tifa and Aerith. So this is where the translated tweets are going to come in handy. So unfortunately, Google Translate was pretty rough for this as far as like commands and everything. So I'm not really sure what any of these menus say. But we can see that Cloud is using the hard edge. So clearly he gets it. Maybe it's just for the demo or something, but he gets it at a different point. You used to have to steal this from a soldier in Shinra. But right here, we can now see the summon bar. And I'm not sure if... So the tweets say that, like, if you have a summon Metiria equipped... let me get to the tweet. Yeah, so during this boss battle, I'm reading directly from the tweet. During this boss battle, Cloud had the Ifrit summon Metiria equipped. And because of this, Cloud's attacks caused his summon gauge to eventually fill up completely over time. With a full summon gauge, we saw Cloud summon Ifrit, which we'll get to, who remained on the battlefield. Summons are typically controlled by the AI, but we saw Cloud spend his ATB charges to make Ifrit use his unique abilities, such as Flare Burst and Crimson Dive. Okay, so it's unclear to me, because if this white line is the meter, then it's, I think for the demo purpose, for the purposes of this demo, they just had it filled the entire time. But if you see behind the white bar, there's this purple, and I'm thinking maybe this is the gauge, and this darker area means that it hasn't filled up yet. But as I was watching this, it didn't seem like it was like having to be filled. Like it just seemed like that's the way it was. Yeah, like now it's shorter. So I'm unclear if, like, as he attacks, does this get shorter, and then once it's completely drained, he can summon him? I don't know. It's a little unclear. The tweets certainly helped, but yeah. So now, okay, here's Aerith. I think they've done a great job with Aerith. Aerith is a dedicated, ranged character, according to the tweets. So it says, this tweet says, Aerith's standard attacks are long-ranged, and pressing the triangle button uses her unique character ability, Tempest. Her Holy Circle ability creates an area in the battlefield, and any spell used within the area is cast repeatedly. So I think that's what we're about to see here. So Aerith casts an ability. Yep. Okay, so this is her Holy Circle. Oh, maybe not. Okay, I think she's actually pinned down here. Yeah, okay, so she's pinned down in the circle. I think that's what this gold means. Yes, now that's gone. She's no longer pinned down. Tifa is about to start kicking some serious ass. We see Cloud come in here like it's crazy. We got acrobatics going on. It's nuts. So Cloud's using abilities. It's just going wild. It seems like really active combat, which I'm really excited for. Like, you can tell when somebody's mashing square or triangle, and you can also tell when somebody's using abilities. And it's clearly being weaved. Like, we get to see this whole sequence here where, okay, so Tifa casts lightning. Now he's selecting abilities. He's not actually doing anything. This is a combo. Cloud comes in. He selects one ability with Tifa. He's going to switch over to Cloud. Now he's going to mash square. He's going to select another ability. He's going to move over. He's going to switch stances. He's going to, like, press another ability. Like, there's really active combat. And I think it's, like, really rewarding that's how it is. And, like, that's why I really, well, on one hand, I appreciate the classic mode. I think that the combat system of this game, having played it for 15 minutes at PAX, like, it just feels really good. So I'm really excited for that. I just realized that my chroma key is actually like too intense right now. Let me turn that down, or turn it up actually, make it more intense. Okay, great. Sorry about that. Sorry if that was fuzzy. We're doing this live. So yeah, so he's dodging out of the way. He's gonna cast some magic. Okay, so I'm trying to see if we can see it here. what I've noticed, so this is the stagger in the Japanese version called burst. What I noticed though is that whenever somebody uses Metiria, it glows, and you can actually see this on Tifa when she casts thunder or bolt or whatever. Back here. I'll actually do this frame by frame. Let's speed this up because she selects magic, she selects bolt. Okay, now watch the fist. Sorry, this is only 1080p, so it's not like the most clear, but watch her fist. You can see it start to glow. See, her hand is glowing, and then the magic was just summoned, and now the bolts are here. Like it's almost like infinity stones. Like it gets me so excited to see this. Like her hand is glowing, and now that it's over, the hand is no longer glowing. Like just stuff like that is just so nice. Okay, so we're back here. The boss is now going to be burst or staggered or whatever you want to call it. It's different in each version. See, the summon meter is still pretty full. Like I don't really see a difference here. So I think for the demo, they just had it automatically be full. Cloud's using different abilities. And like I said in the other video that I did, abilities had different properties. So some abilities just do a bunch of damage. Some of them increase the burst or the stagger meter. So depending on the style of play you want to have, you can pick different abilities. And depending on what you like, if the boss is close to being stunned, you're better off picking a lower damage, high stun or stagger ability to just push him to the limit, break him, get the burst, and then just deal massive damage. So, you know, okay, I think we're going back to Aerith here. Yeah, she's going to cast an ability. Oh no, we're going back to Cloud. Come on, give me Aerith, give me Aerith. Okay, so this is interesting. The boss is up on these rafters, and if you remember in the original game, he had a tidal wave ability where water came behind him and it did a bunch of AoE. It seems like you can just completely avoid that here if you just wait it out, which is pretty cool. I like that. Okay, so his horns are now glowing red, and now he's going to summon Ifrit. And something very, very interesting here. Summon Metiria is now purple, and you will see actual purple Metiria at the very end, along with something interesting that a friend of mine noticed, and I put it on Twitter. Shout out to Joe, but Summon Metiria is now purple, so that's interesting. And because he's using it, he's summoning Ifrit. The Metiria glows in his sword, and here comes Ifrit. Great. So Ifrit's on the battlefield. I'm hoping that we can see more of Aerith in her combat. I'll go back to it if I skip past it accidentally. So this basically says that the summon is controlled by the AI, but you can also spend ATB to use the summon's other abilities. So you can either have the summon just be controlled by the AI and beat up on the boss and cast, basic spells and just use its regular combat abilities, or you can spend your character's own ATB to use stronger moves. So, pretty cool. A friend of mine told me that this is similar to Kingdom Hearts. I haven't really played Kingdom Hearts since the first one, and I only really played the beginning, so I'm not familiar with that. But, seems like a cool system to me. Alright, so yeah, I think this is Cloud using, yes, okay, so this is one of the abilities that has a name. It was in the tweets, and that was called Crimson Dive. So Ifrit actually literally diving onto the boss and drop from the sky. That's Crimson Dive right there. Okay, so we're going to keep going. He's mashing square a bit. Ifrit's breathing fire all over this dude. It's getting pretty crazy. The boss runs away. I'm wondering if the boss was on fire and he jumped into the water to put him... Yes, okay, so that's so sick. So I just noticed this. The boss is on fire because of the fire breath. Did it just say fire? Weakness. Yeah, okay, so the weakness is fire. The boss is on fire. He's going to jump into the pool, and you're going to see the steam. You see the steam rising from the boss. That is so cool. I didn't notice that the first 5 times I watched this. Okay, so we're going to keep attacking. We're going to go down to the summon ability. Cloud's going to spend his ATB, and he's going to use one of the abilities. I'm assuming this time he's using Flare Burst. Yeah, okay, so that's Flare Burst. Looks like a Tempest sort of ability. Okay, so here comes the boss again. Just seeing what else happens. I'm hoping that we get back to Aerith going wild, because she has some really sick animations. But as you can see here, Okay, great. So Aerith is about to cast her first limit. I cannot remember the name. Aerith limit breaks. Her first limit is called... Oh my god. Healing Wind. Okay, so she's going to cast Healing Wind. Sick animation. She looks so good. This is a strong heal, so Aerith is going to go... She's starting at 540. Cloud's at 712. Tifa's at 1423. And it seems like a big AoE, so it seems like she needs to be in range of people to use this. So let's see that again. Okay, so she's going to use her summon. Now, okay, so yeah, big circle. Slow that down. Yes, okay, so they did not get healed until the circle hit them. Let's see that one more time. Come on, VLC, you can do it. Ooh, that artifacting. Oh my god, it looks terrible. What is VLC doing right now? Okay, but yeah, as you can see, the circle hits them, and then they get healed. Okay, very cool. Okay, so look at this. Oh my god, they keep switching away from it. So, okay, Tifa's going to use her limit. This, I think, is Somersault. Yeah, it looks like Somersault to me. So, I mean, Tifa just looks like a Street Fighter character. She looks nuts. She's going bananas over here. Cloud's going to use Cross Slash. We've seen this a bunch of times. And then the boss is going to die. Now, there is... Oh, he's close to death, I guess. Okay, so Ifrit is going to use his final ability. This is called Hellfire, and he uses this when his timer is up. So this is going to kill the boss. This just looks insane. This is going to look wild in 4K. So the boss is dead. Apps is dead. Now, okay, this is actually what I wanted to show you. And we're going to go back to Aerith in a bit, because I definitely want to talk about her. So let's slow this down to half speed, and then we're going to pause on a certain part. Okay, so... right here, we can see Metiria. So we can see the purple Metiria at the bottom. You can see that there. And then we can see a green Metiria for magic. And there is an etch in the sword. And my friend Joe Saunders, who did E3 coverage with me, he pointed this out to me. There is an etch in the sword. It doesn't look like there's a third piece of Metiria here, but I think this signifies, and he does too, Metiria linking, similar to the original game. So that's what I'm seeing there. And then he's going to... Oh my god, this looks... I don't know what VLC does with the artifacting. So he puts it away. We see, the purple Metiria, and we see all that. So let's go back to Aerith. I'm sorry. I thought I was going to run into this just naturally. Aerith is now a dedicated range character. And when she uses her ability called Tempest, which is the triangle ability, her character ability... she is able to just repeatedly cast spells. And it seems like her regular attack, she's just like chucking random like fireballs sort of stuff onto the boss. But it looks like she's at the Olympics for baton twirling. Like she's going bananas with this. So, okay, she uses Tempest and it creates a circle. I guess it didn't really show it, but I could have sworn I saw him hit triangle. Maybe it's on a timer. Maybe that's like a circle. Okay, yeah, so he just hit it there. It's supposed to put some sort of circle on the ground, and then any spells used in that circle will be able to get spammed, apparently. It says, Aerith's standard attacks are long-ranged, and pressing the triangle button uses her unique character ability, Tempest. Her Holy Circle ability creates... Okay, so Holy Circle is something different, I think. Ability creates an area in the battlefield, and any spell used within that area is cast repeatedly. Okay, so I think that's what this is. I think that's what this is. So, okay. I don't know. Maybe they didn't get to show it, but I thought it was pretty interesting. But, yeah, so that's it for this breakdown. It was 3 parts. We had the updated E3 and PAX demo with the new menus. We had the Squat Minigame with the rhythm game, and then we have the apps fight. So all that really remains in terms of characters for this segment of the game, which is just supposed to be Midgar, is Red 13. I don't know when they're going to show him. I mean, the game comes out October, November, December, January, February, March, in 6 months. So they have 6 months to show Red 13 and anything else. I'm wondering if we'll get a new character. Who knows? I doubt it, but it'd be interesting for sure. But yeah, so Man, I mean, I just didn't think we were gonna get this at TGS. This is just a really, really pleasant surprise. If you guys have any comments, let me know. If I missed anything, please let me know. A lot of you guys pointed some things out in the previous video, which was really, really helpful. Oh wait, there's actually 2 spell materials in there, I think. Yeah, I see something glowing there. So there's 2 magic materials in there. 2 magic are linked. That's what it looks like to me anyway. Interesting. I feel like they use different... like this is just a video, so I think they just use like different cuts of the same video. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of you guys pointed out to me that in the previous video that I did, in the Shinra trailer that I did a breakdown for, one of the enemies who I thought, I just had no idea, was actually a rare spawn in the train graveyard. So like of all things that they showed a rare spawn from the game that in 22 years I had no idea existed. So thanks for pointing that out. That was really, really helpful. Some of you also had a theory that where the section where Tifa is being controlled on like a monkey bar sort of thing, maybe her sneaking into Shinra because in the original, when you get into Shinra, you have to do sort of like a Simon Says or a red light, green light sort of sneaking game. So maybe in the reimagining of this game, they may break up the 3 characters as they sneak in, and they may each have like a different section and a way of sneaking. Maybe. It could be something completely different. It could be them sneaking to the Sector 5 reactor like I originally thought. I think now, though, it may be sneaking into Shinra. I kind of agree with you guys. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I would love to keep discussing this. It's now 2:20 in the morning, so I definitely got to get to sleep. But yeah, if anything else comes out of TGS, I'm kind of hoping nothing does because I can't stay up in the middle of the night doing this every day. But yeah, let me know your theories. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new ones go live. You can find me on Twitter. I'm at SJCage. And you can also find me on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/SweetJohnnyCage. All right, that about does it. I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.